Here we go. Ah, fuck.
Reset it. Okay.
Where are we gonna? Right there, right there, right there, right there.
Let me pull up the flame whisper box.
Okay. Cookie should commentate.
And he is back with the green draw skip. As we see here, it is now back into Akool's hand, back into Cheese's hand, who plays a wild, going into the red, back to Cewb, who plays a red 3, going into Flame. Flame drawing one card, and it is a yellow 3 going into Akool's hands, banging another yellow 3. Cheese with a powerful draw 4 going back into Cewb's hand, plays what exactly? Draws a 4. It is a blue color, and it is now Flames, who puts a blue skip. Team HFC, FHC is looking very strong right now, as we see that they are in 2 cards in their hand. We see Flame, a very powerful position here, can disrupt the Akool, not enough, but Cheese is not able to acquire the quick Uno back into Cewb's hand. Akool doing a little bit of flaunting to his partner Cewb, seeing what he has to help him with. Flame taking advantage, change the color to green, going back into Akool, who also changed the color to green, back into Cheese, who draws up to 2 cards, going back into 5 and plays a green 5, going to Cewb, who Cewb will play what? A draw 2, starting the chain up, putting another chain, draw 4. Does Cewb help his teammate? No, he does not, as we see another bit of banter coming out from Itsflamedude, as we see Flame going back into 2 and Akool going back up to 5, where Cheese can do something here. What would Cheese do? Cheese has a really good position to disrupt Cewb and getting Flame into Uno, and he is able to successfully disrupt Cewb. I hope the communication was there, as we see nothing was said. However, Flame does have a yellow and forgets to call Uno, but is able to quickly call Uno. And it is now up to Cewb to do something to Flame. Blue 6 is what will be Flame's downfall, putting a reverse, skipping the Akool's turn, going back into Cewb, who Cewb will play another blue 7, and it is back to the Cheese, who Cheese will do something here, as we hope. Draws 1 card, and has another draw 4 in his hand, ladies and gentlemen, who puts a draw 4 into Akool. Akool not realizing that Cheese did draw that draw 4, a fresh draw 4 a second ago, failing the challenge, as Flame plays a yellow skip going to Uno. Cewb following up with other colors, and we see Flame not having a red, falling behind once again, and it's back to Cewb. As you see, Cewb here is going to do something dangerous, something that will disrupt Cheese and Flame from securing this round 1 victory. Reversing it back to Flame, reversing it back to Cewb, who skips Cheese back into Akool, who puts a draw 2 onto Flame, goes him back into 4, puts Cewb's position and getting Cheese back into a draw 2, stacking draws on Team FHC, as we see here. Reversing it back into Cewb. Cewb quickly drawing up cards. Flame is still in control of this match, as we can see here, and is no longer in control of this map unless he successfully gets his challenge. However, he will not do that challenge. He is actually doing the challenge and doesn't realize that it is not enough. Going back into 6 on Akool's hand. Back to Cheese. Back to Cewb. Cewb has a 9 and has to play a 9. He plays a blue 2. Back to Flame, who went from a Uno to 11 cards. Back to Akool, who is in double-digit zone right now. Highest double digits in his hand, who is getting stacked by Cewb. We are now seeing 3 members of the match in double-digit zones, as we see Cewb here is at 12 cards. Back to his turn. Cheese in really good control of this match right now, as we can see here. Cheese is going to do something dangerous, I assume. Not dangerous enough, as it is Akool's turn. Back to Flame. Back to Cewb. Back to Cheese once more, as Cheese will do something here, I assume, knowing Cheese plays a red 7. Back to Akool, who plays a red skip, skipping Flame's turn. Back to Cewb. who puts the yellow skip, skipping Cheese's turn. Back to Akoob, plays the yellow 5, but going back to Flame, who plays the yellow 1. Back to Cewb, who will play something here. A blue 1. Was that enough to disrupt Cheese? No, it was not. He plays a green 1. Going back to Akoob, plays a green 3. Going back to Flame, who plays a green 2. Going back to Cewb, who plays a green 8. Going back to Cheese, that plays another green 8. Going back to Akoob, that plays a green 7. Back to Flame, who plays a green 7. Or a 4, I'm sorry. And then Cewb plays a blue 4. And then back to Cheese. For a very, very fast-paced game as they are picking up the speed here, going very quick. Cewb plays a blue 4, going back to Akoob, plays a red 4, back to Flame, I'm sorry, who plays a red, draw 2, getting Cewb into a draw 2, skipping Akool's turn, going back to Flame, who plays a red 8, going back to Cewb, who plays a red 9, going back to Cheese, who is most likely playing for his partner Flame at the current moment. As Flame is entering green zone, which is a very good zone to be in, as if you guys don't know what a green zone is. Green zone is when you have 3 or less cards and you are ready to commit into an Uno. Flame plays a wild, playing a yellow, and it might be enough to disrupt Cewb from doing something to Cheese. It might be just enough, as Cheese is drawing more cards and it is now Akool's turn, who plays the yellow. Flame is in control, but Akoob quickly changes the color to green. Back to Flame, who Flame will play another yellow. Back to Cewb, who Cewb most likely doesn't have a yellow strong enough to disrupt Cheese. Where Cheese is drawing, and Cheese is gonna do something. Who skips the turn, going back to Akoob. Going back to Akoob, he's drawing up cards, stacking up cards, changing the color to what it will appear to be green once again, knowing that Flame does not have a green, and Flame is quickly racking up on cards. Who is able to draw 4 here, ladies and gentlemen, as we see here. Going back to Cewb, and what will Cewb do here? Take the 4, back to Flame, back to Cewb, back to Cheese, who draws 1 and skips his turn once again, who goes back to Akoob, and just, again, playing with Flame's emotion, putting him back up there, playing a wild as getting him into a green. And now it looks like Akoob is back in control of this match, who skipped Cheese, saying maldito, as we know that Flame is very pissed right now with Akoolchicano, as we see here. It is not a very successful thing. As we can see, Cheese is anxious. You see him moving all around and he's not comfortable with the situation of the match right now, as we see that Flame is drawing 4 onto Cewb, the box, as we see that Cewb here is drawing 4 back to Cheese and going back to Akoob, who is also back into 6 cards, going into the green zone very soon, going back to Flame, going back to Cewb, as we see Cewb here is gonna do something. Draw. Nothing. Back to Cheese, who is going back to Akoob. Back to Flame. What will Flame do? What will Cewb do? Cewb will give Flame another chance in this turn. And this is now Flame's opportunity to do something very dangerous to Akoob. He may have the cards not at all, as Flame quickly takes that Akoob takes that pressure away from Flame very quickly. Match being paused due to instabilities because Transfer Mice is a piece of shit. Going back to Flame. Flame here at the red zone. 17 cards, now looking really good for them. Is it going back to Cewb?
This is barely game 1! This is barely
going back to Cheese. Going back to Akoob with 2 cards in his hand in the green zone. As you see, the person in the red zone does not have enough to disrupt Cewb. Going back to Cheese, who Cheese cannot do anything to Cewb, and we see Akoob going to Uno, playing a green 0. As we see here, Flame may not have anything for Cewb, puts a draw 2 down. Cewb takes it, and now it's all up to Cheese to see what color Akoob doesn't have. Akoob doesn't have a yellow, draws 2 more cards, he's out of the green zone, going up to 7, as we see Akoob is back in the last place position, not last place, second place position, I'm sorry, but in Team Uno, that is last place. Anyways, going back into it, Cheese here, going into 7 cards, back into 6, losing the lead into second place. Never mind, as we see Akoob here, drawing 4 into Flame. Flame is in the position to do damage to both Akoob and Cewb if he can do what is required to get Cheese into the victory. I think there's a misunderstanding of Flame not understanding the challenge system, or he's using this to his advantage, getting 6 cards instead of 4. Flame very deep into the red zone, may be able to have some things, as Akoob decides to apply pressure into himself from Cheese, applying pressure back into Akoob, which Akoob takes away the pressure, and going back into Cewb, who stacks draw 2s after draw 2s. Out of the 20 cards, Flame does have a draw 2, and puts 6 cards onto Akoob. Cewb decides to not pay attention to that, as now we see that there is damage going on here. Back into the draw 2 zone, where Flame is doing damage to Akoob. We see that Cheese here can do something to slow down Cewb, but Cewb is just trailing, not paying attention to his partner, but that's fine, as Cewb is in the position to be winning right now. reverses it back to Cheese to take the pressure way off, but Cheese does not want that and reverses it back to Cewb. As Cewb here has something to do. What will Cewb do? Cewb going back into the 18. As we see Flame with 18 cards in his hand, Flame can do something. Fortunately, puts a yellow card, not enough for a cool, as now it's back to Cheese, back to Cewb. As we see Flame doing something here. Reversing it back as Akool takes pressure away from him, putting the pressure onto his teammate Cewb, which is a very, very interesting situation right now, realizing that Flame has 20 cards in his hand.
Oh,
This might not
Flame
be
is
23. And this might be interesting as Flame puts a draw 2 into Cewb. Not a very smart move from Akool, as we see he put pressure onto his teammate. But, however, we see here that Flame is going to do whatever it takes to win. We are in the 2-minute mark here, ladies and gentlemen. We see the reverses going back into the opponent here, as we see that there is damage going on. There's a very tough time right now, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, as we can see that Flame is in a position to do huge giga damage to both of the team members. This is not a good position for any of them to be in. All the cards are there somewhere. We see that most of the people have the cards in their hand, as we see Flame skipping Akool. We need something to happen to Cewb, some sort of slowing down in order for Cheese to take the win. But we see two of them in the green zone, and Cheese plays a draw 4, getting the pressure off him, getting Cewb back into the last place. Now we just need Flame to do something to Akool here in order for them to secure the victory. Puts a draw 2 down, and now Cheese and Flame are in the lead. As we see, Cewb here is in a position to do damage to Flame, but it doesn't matter at this point. You shouldn't be paying attention about Flame. You should be paying attention about Cheese. As we see here, that Akool plays a card down. We are now in the flash rule, as now we have less than 1 minute to go here. As we see Cheese in the yellow zone, going up the yellow zone, putting a draw 4 into Akool, making sure that he's going to secure that victory, stacked by the legendary Akoolchicano. But what will Flame do? Flame will challenge it, and will it work? Yes, it will, putting them in the situation where Cheese can secure this victory. We see that Q here is at 7. Cheese is falling behind, but putting a quick wild. Again, this is where I would implement burning the time, ladies and gentlemen, because you do not want to be in a position where you're in the position. But however, we are looking that Cheese is in a position to win this round. All that has to be done now is burn the timer. Reverse, and we see here that is back to Flame. We want the timer to be burned. You want this to happen. You want cards to be burned here. You want some damage to happen. It's still happening as Akool skips Cheese, but it's not enough. Skips, and we see that it is neck and neck victory. A 12-minute match, ladies and gentlemen, and we see that Cheese and Flame win round 1. The thing you have to keep in mind here, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you enter the 2-minute rule, making sure that you can burn as much time from them as possible is essential. Burning time is legal. It is not a rule against. And if you do it, you are more than likely able to secure the win. Cheese and Flame, coming back from death, were able to win that first round. As we might be able to see a quicker round here, hopefully ending within the time limit. 12 minutes within a round are very long. 12 minutes of Uno is very stressful. It can hurt a man. It can kill them.
Cheese. Okay.
We see here that they're all at 5. They might all quickly fall down to 4 without doing damage to each other. This is maybe the cleanest match of Uno I've seen so far lately. As Cewb is racking up in cards, Cheese is changing that into a dirty game, putting the first draw for the match. And going back into Flame, who Flame is entering the green zone. Fortunately, he has a very powerful member of his team right now drawing cards, reverses it. This might be good, ladies and gentlemen, as Akool decided to reverse it, playing for Flame's strengths, and Cewb may not have any hostile cards from what we've seen in the first couple of cards being placed. Flame is in a very powerful position to put any color down, going into the very fast Uno if he decides to call it, and he doesn't call it. Cewb calls it Uno, and we see here that Flame is going back to 3 cards, all because of a simple mistake of not calling Uno. We see here that Cheese may be a bit frustrated, but Cheese is going to do everything in his power to get Flame into that victory. Akoob flaunting a card. What can it be? We got a green skip on it. As we see Flame putting a card, putting a number down, putting a red 2. What will Cheese do? Can Cheese do something to help his teammate secure the victory? As we can see, it is reversed. Will Akoob have something? No, he will reverse it back to Cheese. We see here, Cewb also still not having any hostile cards to work against. Drawing up cards may be something, not enough, as Flame will enter the Uno zone. As we see here, it may not matter as Cheese may just need one card, something to help his teammate. What will it be? It was a blue 9. Is it enough to continue and put Flame into the Uno out spot?
Oh my
Cewb draws,
god.
and it is not an Uno out as Flame draws, and once again, it calls Uno in time, thank God! As we see him draw the draw 4, putting it onto a cool, change the color to yellow, and it is now Cewb's turn, who puts the color to yellow, and Flame cleans up. 2 times! Flame decides to not call Uno.
That's all good.
No, he only did it once.
He did it twice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, okay.
I'm typing to Flame. Calm down. We're teammates. We're talking. You know.
Thank God, Cheese is spamming the call Uno! And then next thing you know,
in case you were wondering, I said, hey, you can call Uno when you have 2 cards. You're about to play one.
Yeah. But as we are entering round 3, we see Flamin Hot Cheezos in the 2-0 victory. This might be the end for Jester Cewb and Rat Akoob.
I'm not a rat.
Alright, I'm sorry, Simp Akoob. As we see here,
I'm not simp either, bitch.
we see here that this match is going pretty fast. That was pretty much one of the fastest matches in Uno this entire tournament. As we see here, Akoob is in the position to do damage to Flame, not allowing it to happen, but Flame quickly counters it, putting Cewb in a situation. Akoob forcing his teammate to draw 4 cards may not be helpful. However, Akoob is in a situation to win it for his team and get the first point on the board for them. As we see, Cheese is going to do something. Draws 1 card. What will the next thing be? Decides to skip his turn, as now it is back to Akoob. Akoob draws a card. Not enough, as he doesn't have a yellow, but neither does Flame. Back to Cewb, and Cewb has a blue, changes the color. Puts a draw 2 onto Akoob. Does the pressure, puts Flame into the green zone with a blue 4. Back to Cewb, as Cewb will do something here, I assume. Plays a blue thread. Blue 3, I'm sorry. Cheese skips Akoob. Flame puts a blue 0. And Flame taunts a card off to Cheese. Let's see what Cheese will do. That information hopefully will be very helpful into securing this victory, this 3-0 wipe. As we see, Cheese is putting cards down. Another blue 9. That will be a color change. Akoob has a 50% chance to assume the right color and successfully makes that successful color prediction as Flame is back to 2. We're not having a yellow. Cewb puts a yellow 2 back to Cheese, who is drawing up cards and might do something here. Might. Yellow 5 as back to Akoob plays the yellow 2. Flame still with no yellows quickly skips Cewb from having a turn. That is now back to Cheese. Cheese having another shot to do something to Akoob here. As what will he do in this situation? Is it enough? No, he decides to skip his turn one more time. But Akoob decides to skip Flame with a red skip, putting Cewb back onto his turn, going back to Cheese. With Cheese puts a green 6 back to Akoob. With Flame putting a blue green 4, getting the Uno. Akoob is in the green zone, however, so that is something to worry about. Cewb quickly makes him draw 2, and it's back to Akoob, who decides to do something here. Green?
Oh, yes!
Is not what Flame has. However, Flame plays another green, gets the Uno. We all know that Flame does not have a green, however, we see that Cewb here is going to do something to possibly try to disrupt Cheese. Is that enough? No, he decides to skip his turn. Back to Cheese. Well, Cheese will do something here, hopefully. Puts another green 5. We have 2 members in the green zone, and we see here that Flame is in the green zone, but not in the Uno zone anymore, as we see here that it is Cewb's turn. Cewb can do some big giga damage here to Cheese, reverses it. Flame is now in the position to possibly not give Akoob a turn, and going back into Cewb, as Cewb will do something here. Put the draw 4 into Cheese, and this looks like it will be the victory, the first victory on the board, as Cheese has no choice but to challenge. It is enough to give Akoob the victory. The draw 4 comes in clutch as we see that team Akoob is going to not get a wipe over here. as they got the first round on their side, a victory. We're now entering round 4 of this match in the series, ladies and gentlemen. We see that this is a very stressful time where hopefully Team FHC is making the decisions and doing stuff in order to decide what needs to be done to make sure that they can secure these next 2 wins. They are winning. They are 50% there, but we need them to get to 100. But the same thing we can be said for Akoob, as they need literally 3 more matches to make it to the championships. Flame here doing something. Stacking up on cards into the red zone. Draws 2 onto Cewb, who puts draw 2. Draw 4 onto his teammates. Not looking very powerful for teammate FHC. Both in the double digits, as we see. Flame will do something here, hopefully. Maybe, as we see that it is back into Cewb, who plays a yellow 9, who puts yellow after yellow. Akool's turn gets skipped, as we see Flame here is in the position to do something. Not enough, as Cewb is quickly falling down the charts, entering the green zone very soon, hopefully. Putting a draw 2 onto Cewb, putting him back away from the green zone, but Cheese also putting draw 2 onto Akool. It looks like the team is in symphony and harmony, as we see that they are getting draw 2s after draw 2s. They are both entering the yellow zone, as Cheese is quickly falling into the green zone. Cheese at 5, Akool skips Flame, making sure he doesn't do any shit. As we see Cheese entering 4, Akool entering 4, Flame entering 8, Cewb entering 5, reverses back to Flame as Flame can do something here, hopefully. Not enough, as it is now Akool's turn. Akool, first man to enter the green zone this match. As we see, it is now Cheese's turn. Akool flaunting a card, plays the draw 4 into Cewb. Might be enough, might not. Puts another draw 4. This might be the time where Flame can do some big damage, some giga damage to Cewb. Hopefully he challenges it, gets it. Will he? Yes, he will. Getting the challenge on, as we see, he also got a reverse, and he gets a draw 4 as well, ladies and gentlemen, from that draw 4. But Akool also such a draw 4. Was it a smart move? It might not have been, as they are all getting 4 cards. As we can see here, it is not enough, ladies and gentlemen. A draw 4 stack does not work unless it's your last and only card. It does not work, ladies and gentlemen. But everyone got a draw 4, so it is even. This is working out to be a very interesting series. However, Akool is still in the lead. Skips Cheese and is now back to Cewb, who Cewb needs to do something to get Akool into this next victory. As we see here, back to Akool, drawing 1 card, back to 4. And it is reversed. And it's now back to Flame, who plays a yellow 2, going back into Cewb. What will Cewb do here? Plays a green 2. Back into Cheese, who plays a green, not letting Akool get a turn. This is good though. Cheese is quickly falling down into the green zone. He is now ahead of Akool. This might work out for him. As we see here, that Cheese is at 3. Cewb's at 3. Cheese gets Uno, and we see here that Flame might be able to successfully get the 3rd victory. Let's see here. Is it enough? Is it enough, ladies and gentlemen? Is it enough? It is enough, as Flame got the draw 2 that successfully got them the 3rd win on the board. This is now a very, very stressful match for Team Akoob, the champions, the literal gods at the game right now, are going to possibly lose their 1st place position to Team FHC. We have seen that this team has been refined and has made it from thick and thin into the finals. The overall finals might be where these teams will decide to show themselves. We are looking at this. This is very stressful, ladies and gentlemen. This is not looking very good for Team Akoob. Reversing it, not giving Akool a chance. This might already be a strong start. Reversing it back to Cheese. Cheese going into the green zone very fast. As we can see here, Akool into double digits, going into Flame's turn, where Flame will play something, hopefully, maybe. As we can see, he plays a yellow 1, back to Cewb, plays a yellow 3, back to Cheese, plays a yellow 4. Looks like we're going into a number order, as now Akool plays a yellow 6, back to Flame. Flame not doing any damage to Cewb, but Cewb has nothing except for a yellow skip to Cheese. Might be enough. It is now Akool's turn, playing a yellow 7. Back to Flame, I'm sorry, who may have something. Plays a green 7. Might be enough, might not, as Cewb decides to play a wild. An interesting choice at the current moment, as Cheese does have a blue, but it quickly falls behind on Flame, who has to draw 2, but it's now Cube's turn, who also plays to draw 2 into Cheese. As we can see, Cube is now in the lead, going back into Akoobuwuxd, who draws 2 cards, goes back into 9 and plays yellow 7, goes back to Flame, where Flame, we will see, will do something here. Plays the yellow 2 back to Cube. Well, Cube will play a yellow 0 back to Cheese. We'll play a draw 2 onto Akool. Akool will probably take this, going back into double digits, going back to Flame, who plays the yellow 2, going back into Cube, who leaves the green zone, going back into 4 cards, going back to Cheese, who Cheese plays a blue 5, going back into green zone, who goes back into Akool. Akool still in double digits, plays the blue 6, going back into Flame, who plays the blue 3, going back into Cube, who plays the blue 4, going back into Cheese, who plays the blue 1 in the green zone. As we can see, Akool played the blue 2, back to Flame. As we can see, Flame can do something here to hopefully get their victory across the board. As we see that he plays a blue 8, Q plays a blue 9. Cheese here will get the Uno with a draw 4. We can see that there is some potential here to do damage. As we can see here, Flame does not have anything at the moment. He plays a draw 4, ladies and gentlemen. This might be it. This might be it. This might be the win that we're looking for. The win that might determine as Cube challenges it. Possibly not enough, as we see that Cheese has won the match, all because of a stack of a draw 4, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see here, the draw 4s are powerful. They are God cards. Flame with the heart of the cards, the lucky draw that gets him to draw 4, ladies and gentlemen, has secured the pros Team FHC with their win. It is the win that they were looking for. As you can see here, we have a real team communicating and digesting. We can obviously assume what Team Akoobuwuxd is feeling right now. But it's not about them. It's about the team that actually won, ladies and gentlemen. It is back to Team FHC. Cheese, as we can see, you have won 2 matches today. 2 very, very stressful matches. Matches that could have made or broken you. Probably broken you the first time if you have lost the first round, but you didn't. You made it through that match, and you have made it to the overall finals. How are you feeling right now, Cheese?
I feel real good. Flame and I have great communication. He was playing my card 2 times. I played the his. I don't know, but we had good communication. He played that +4, and I was like, "Oh, make it green." You know, and last round we showed that we can handle adversity, and this round we can show that we dominate too. So feels good.
It's really great to see that Flamin Hot Cheezos is the only team on the bracket who were able to do 4-1 victories. They are the only team in the entire tournament who have been able to do 4-1, almost a wipe. They are the only team that has successfully had less than 3 rounds in a match to actually win. They finished this game really quickly, and it is looking like we are going to see a very, very interesting finals. Looking at the updated bracket, we are going to see that Team Flamin Hot Cheezos goes to the overall finals, and the finals of the finals is still going to be determined at this point, as Team Akoobuwuxd is falling behind into the Consolation Finals. Hopefully, they will be playing. Who knows? But they at least have to pay attention that they could possibly be playing Jelly and Sam.
Yeah, that's I think what it might be.
That's at least a guaranteed match. They might.
All I'm gonna say is that I think so far at least, I don't know who, you know, it depends on social, but I might be the only participant to make the finals in both brackets. I mean,
yeah,
might lose both, but you know, two championship opportunities. Feels good.
But then you know when you're in the finals, you choke.
We will see what happens. But at the moment,
place out of 8 people.
But at the moment, we're not going to worry about what if they choke. At the moment, we're worried about the fact that Team Akoobuwuxd did choke, unfortunately, and they are not making it to the finals.
We have one more chance. We have one more chance.
They have one more chance, but at the moment, their streak is not looking to be very strong, as they are possibly fighting what could be Team Gigachads or Team Godmother. It could be Team Bonk or Team Many Beans or Team Bonking Bitches. Actually, Team Bonking Bitches is out. It could be still a 4-man team. 4 teams are still possibly looking at a chance to make it into the finals. It is not going to be a very easy path. However, the only thing that Team Akoobuwuxd needs to do at the moment is rest, think about their strategy, and make sure that they're doing the right things to win.
I don't know how their communication was, but I mean,
We were communicating. We just got bad luck.
all I'm saying, right, was like when I was watching Cookie and Katie, you know, sometimes I felt like communication was off, and we got a little beyond that. Cewb and Cool, you know, they were those were very close games, very nerve wracking.
Yeah.
I got quite a few +4, so Uno gods were in my favor that game, and you know sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and I think that was an example there. We were lucky, and that beats good. So.
The Uno gods for sure showered their love and appreciation to this underdog team with the draw force that were able to successfully get them this win. We all knew that this was a very bad position to be in. However, they managed to get through and
But then
managed to do
also,
damage.
let's say that Akoob actually goes to the overall finals. That means if we actually get a series win over y'all, we're gonna use that second necessary match.
Either way.
Yeah, I mean we got 2 lives. That's a nice thing right now.
Yeah.
And you know we'll I mean look, Flame made a mistake on not calling.
Yeah, I noticed.
But you know we bounced back. I told him, hey, that's okay. You know, with 2 cards if you're about to play one, make sure. Because I felt watching him there, and you know, yeah, we got lucky.
The thing about this underdog team that we have seen is that they are able to do the most under pressure things. We saw 2 matches go into literally flash. Maybe it was 1 match, to be honest, because it was a very fast.
There was one that went 4-0. That was Candy and Papa against Blib and Ice.
Oh yeah, we saw that they were running out of time, and they were able to use that to their advantage. Now, I always mention in the tournaments, that if you burn time on the timer, that might be your best friend, as you want to win with the least amount of points in your hand. It is not easy to keep those points in your hand if somebody is going to target you. However, at the end of the day, we saw that his team achieved, they surpassed, and they made it to the finals. Now, cool. We have you here, seeing that you guys were the best of the best in the overall tournament until today. What happened?
We got super bad cards all the way around, but they are really good though. They are really good. I'll give them credit for that.
I'm gonna join the other call because I'm playing Scriblio. So
all right.
I appreciate the interview.
Sounds good, Cheese. We're looking forward to your next successful win, most likely.
Thanks. It'll probably be like a week, but you know, here's hoping.
Yep. A week from now.
Probably. See ya.
Dang. As we can see, Cookie here is shocked and is not talking because she does not realize that Akoobuwuxd actually lost something. The spectator who did lose to this.
I was just reading something.
As you can see, Cookie was reading about thickies here and not paying attention to the match. This is not a really good thing. I said thickies.
Dickies.
Thickies.